Can I tell you something slightly uncomfortable? Many women say they don't trust themselves, but when I ask them deeper questions and really listen to them and their experiences, what they're really saying is, I have too much evidence that I abandoned myself. Because trusting yourself isn't random, ladies, it is built. And if you're constantly ignoring red flags, breaking promises to yourself, overriding your intuition, saying yes when you mean no, pushing through exhaustion, staying too long in the wrong environments and with the wrong people, shrinking your needs to be viewed as more palatable and not a burden, your brain learns something very, very dangerous. It learns that I am not safe to rely on. And that changes your relationships, it changes your money, it changes your standards, it changes your body. It literally leaks into every single area of your life because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Today, I'm going to teach you how to become a woman who trusts herself deeply and genuinely. Before we dive in, a quick introduction. Hello, my name is Ashanwa. Welcome to LAJA, where I help women cultivate self trust so they actualize and attract better outcomes in their lives, their relationships, their finances, and also their health and their body. If that sounds like something you are interested in, I encourage you to subscribe and stick around. And let's learn together today how to become the woman who trusts herself deeply and unapologetically. First, what is self trust? Self trust is not a feeling, it's not a vibe, it's not a thought. It is evidence, ladies. Self trust is evidence. It is evidence over time that you will show up for you, that you are reliable to yourself, that you will not abandon yourself at the slightest inconvenience or at the slightest push of a boundary, that you will come up and show up for you no matter how much life beats you down and kicks you in the jaw, in the pum pum, and gives you an uppercut left, right, front, and center, you're still going to come through for you. Ladies, self trust isn't built when things or life is all roses and everything is going well. It's built in the silent moments. It's built in the times when you're down, when life has thrown you a curveball and you're left questioning yourself, can I do this? What is going on with my life? Who am I? What is my life? These are all questions that I've asked myself once when I struggled with broken self trust. And today I'm going to share with you how to build a very deep level of self trust that would shield you not from life's hardships, but will give you the confidence where even if slash when life happens, you will feel confident and competent that you'll be able to come out on the other side on top. So self trust, like I said earlier on, is consistency, is follow through, and is integrity with yourself. So before we go into how to build it, how or why do we lose self trust as women, ladies? One thing you need to know is this: self trust, the same way it's not built overnight, it's also not lost overnight. Self trust Broken self trust takes time. It happens across years, it happens across repeated instances where you consistently override your intuition, you override your body signals, you override your thoughts and your desires and your wants and your truth. You override it, and over time, it leads to broken self trust, and you lose your self trust. And when you lose your self trust, you also lose yourself in the process. What are a few examples that cause us as women to lose self trust? First is staying when you want to leave, staying in toxic relationships that drain you. You know that man is no good for you, he's stressing you out, your hair is falling out, but baby, you're like, but I love him. We've been together forever. He's my man, I'm his babe. But he's slowly causing you to lose yourself and lose your self trust because you know that this man is not the one that God has ordained for you. Another way that women lose self trust is through ignoring their body signals. You're tired, but society has told you that I'm only going to sleep when I'm dead. The grind don't stop, hustle don't stop. But baby, your body is letting you know that they've had enough. It's had enough, and it needs rest. It needs nourishment. But you override this because you have guilt or shame that resting is for the weak, or that you don't deserve, or you have to earn your rest, ladies. That is another way that self trust is broken, because now you have a mind body disconnection where your body is saying one thing, but your mind and your actions are doing the opposite. And this is how women end up with all forms of health issues, from autoimmune issues to mental health issues, and even high cholesterol, fibroids, womb issues, and more. It's from consistently overriding your body's signals and not listening to the cries for help your body has been signaling. Another way is abandoning your routines repeatedly, outsourcing your decisions. Ladies that claim they want to turn their brains off in the presence of a man, I understand the sentiments in that, but you want to keep your brain on because, again, we want to be vigilant. Scripture tells us to be as wise as serpents and innocent as doves. And for us to be as wise as a serpent, baby, we need our brains. So, just saying. Another way women lose self trust is needing constant reassurance. Oh, does this look good? Oh, do you like me? Oh, is this okay? You constantly need to be reaffirmed in your decisions and your choices. Another way we lose self trust is by choosing potential over patterns. You believe so much in the good that hasn't actualized in this man or in this relationship to the point where it overrides your common sense. Scripture says that we should judge people by their fruits, not their potential. We need evidence. But when you have or you lack self trust, when you have broken self trust or you lack self trust, you are more likely to cling onto potential over reality and actualizations. And it's also betraying your personal standards too. So self trust dies, ladies, to summarize this portion of the video through repetition. And also, the good news is that self trust is also built and returned through repetition. It's all dependent on the direction that you're going in. So, I want you to reflect on this, ladies. Where do you repeatedly teach yourself that your needs are optional? I want you to write this down and be super honest with yourself. And I want you to join my school community and DM me the areas in your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's in your finances, whether it's in your health and your body, where you've been repeatedly abandoning yourself and saying that your needs or your body's needs or your financial needs are optional instead of primary or standard in your life. So let me know in my community down below. It's going to be linked in the comment section. So, moving on to how to become a woman who trusts herself deeply, I want you to start listening to yourself, ladies. Start listening to yourself again. And I know this sounds so basic, but how many of you, if you're watching this video, you probably have not been doing that for a while now? And I want you to understand that you cannot trust someone you never listened to. You cannot trust someone you don't know. If someone came up to you that you've never met before and said, "Oh, Angela, trust me, I have your best interest," but you don't know them, you haven't heard what they have to say, and you don't know them from a can of bricks, would you trust them? The answer is no, right? So, how exactly, if you apply that same thought process to yourself, you've been ignoring your body, you've been ignoring yourself and your needs, how exactly are you going to cultivate that self trust? It's impossible. A lot of women are disconnected from themselves. They know everyone but themselves. And I want you to practice this daily by asking yourself, what am I feeling? What do I need? What feels misaligned? What am I ignoring? Check in with yourself regularly. I'm a big proponent, or a big, is that a word? I'm a big proponent of scripting, and I'm a big proponent of journaling. Ask yourself these questions and really reflect on how you're truly doing. Ask yourself, Ashanwa, how are you doing today? How do you truly feel? And that's going to switch from day to day based on where you are in your cycle. If you're going through menopause or perimenopause, it's going to swing because we as women, our energies and our behaviors and our being switches every single week because of the way God has created us. So this, doing this, teaches you body awareness. Your body usually notices misalignments before your mind does. When you feel tired, you feel cranky, you feel bitchy, you feel off, essentially. This is your body's way of telling you to pay attention. Oh, do I need more sleep? Do I need to eat? Do I need more nutritious food? Do I just need to decompress and stress and chill the F out and stop stressing myself over that man that is no good for me? The body keeps score and the bill always comes due. So pay attention, ladies, and learn to listen to yourself. Talk to yourself like you would a friend and find out what it needs and what you need and what you require. So that's the first step. The second step to become a woman who deeply trusts herself is to keep small promises to yourself. This is where most women sabotage. They try rebuilding their self trust by big transformation. You're like, oh, I'm going to glow up. Oh, I'm going to make A, B, C, D, E, F, G changes. They go into extreme diets. They start doing impossible routines. You've been low maintenance before, and then now you become high maintenance. You have this all or nothing mentality that causes you to self-sabotage and become hard on yourself, and then you feel like a failure and you're like, you know what, F this, I don't want to go forward anymore. It is what it is. I will just stay my basic self. But baby, I'm here to let you know that you do not have to do that, and this is what you should do instead to prevent you being hard on yourself when you do fall short for doing the most. I want you to build proof over time. Small proofs, little steps. Drink more water. Buy a cute bottle. Aim to, if you drank zero water before, drink only one bottle. Build that habit over time and add to it. Walk daily. You don't have to become a gym rat overnight, but move your body daily. Walk daily. Stretch for 5 minutes. Do it consistently. Leave on time so you're not rushing. Sleep earlier so you actually feel rejuvenated and refreshed in the morning. Just keep one boundary, ladies, to yourself. And these small promises, they create large trust, ladies. As the saying goes, little drops of water create an ocean. You want to follow the same thought process when it comes to cultivating self trust and when it comes to keeping promises to yourself. Start with the small, mundane promises and build on it, because, ladies, trust grows through evidence, not motivation. It grows through evidence, not motivation. So the next steps become a woman who, this is point number three, to stop who builds deep self-trust is to stop overriding yourself. So I already said you should listen to yourself. I already said you should keep small promises to yourself. And the third thing is to stop overriding yourself. This is a step that changes everything, ladies, because we're all guilty, myself included, of this, where your intuition, your lady brain, which I like to call your intuition, tells you something feels off in the body with this man, with this friend, with this job, but you explain it to where you're like, oh no, it's not that big of a deal, I'm not going to worry about it. But baby, that is you eroding your self-trust. And guess what, when you don't use your intuition and when you don't rely on it, it weakens over time. The more you use your intuition, the stronger it becomes. Other examples of overriding yourself are when your body sends you signals. What are those signals, you might ask, Ashanoa? Those are signals of exhaustion when you've worked yourself to the ground, but you still refuse to rest because everyone and their mother is depending on you to pull through. But your body is telling you, I'm exhausted. Another example is resentment. Resentment when you've overcommitted to plans that have nothing to do with you, but you're afraid of letting people down, and you slowly feel resentful when you are asking for help and no one reciprocates or no one reaches out to you. That resentment is your body signal that you're doing too much and you're overrating yourself. Anxiety, when you walk into a room and you feel anxious, you are constantly looking and scanning the room for threats when there are none. Maybe your cortisol is through the roof and you feel like a tiger is chasing you even though you're just in a room with people you feel uncomfortable with. That is you overriding yourself, the anxiety you feel. Another one is discomfort. That man is breaking your boundaries, disrespecting you, calling you out of your name. You feel uncomfortable. You're like, oh no, he didn't mean it. But you feel uncomfortable in your body. That is your body showing. That is you overriding yourself. And the discomfort you feel is evidence that you have overridden yourself. Another one is desire. Desire, sometimes it's also manifests in the form of jealousy. You see a woman who is looking the way she wants to look, having the man she wants to have, having the body she wants to have, making the money she wants to be making, and you're out here feeling jealous because you desire those same things, but because you don't want to put in the work like she does, you feel envy. The desire you feel to covet what she has or to look at her in disdain is your body's way of communicating that you have overridden yourself. So pay attention. Every every override, ladies, tells your nervous system that my signals do not matter. Every time you feel this, if you feel desire, discomfort, anxiety, resentment, and you do nothing about it, you're sending a dangerous signal to your brain that my signals do not matter. And I want you to know that when it comes to feelings, because this is critical, not every feeling should control you, but every feeling deserves investigation. I don't believe they're good or bad feelings. I believe that feelings are messages and they're signals that cause you to pay attention to parts of yourself that we may need to work on. So jealousy is not a bad thing, but how you use and respond to that jealousy is what matters. Some women become haters, and some women use it to propel them to their highest version of themselves. So it's up to you to choose and decide how you use those emotions, but do not override and suppress them. Ladies, is my point. So, the next step to become a woman who deeply trusts herself is to create standards that protect you. Women often want stronger boundaries, but boundaries collapse without self trust. Standards are pre made decisions, they're not questions of where you're seeking clarity or permission. They are pre made decisions. Some examples are I don't chase inconsistency. So when you see a man being inconsistent, you're turned off and you remove yourself immediately. I encourage you to watch my video on how expensive women set boundaries without aggression. You can find it on my channel. Is by prioritizing sleep, is by saying I leave with disrespect quickly. I do not spend emotionally. These are decisions you've made with yourself to reduce decision fatigue because future you has already decided what you are and are not available for. Standards are self-trust in action. And then last but not the least is to build a self trust system to become a woman who deeply trusts herself. I am truly a believer in systems and structures that allow you to thrive and not just survive. And this is my self trust loop. The first step is awareness. Ask yourself, what am I noticing? What patterns, for better, for worse, am I noticing in myself? The second thing is alignment. What aligns with my standards as the new version of the woman that I am calling in? And then the next step is action, taking one aligned action from the woman you have decided you are, the woman with boundaries, the high maintenance, expensive energy woman. Take one aligned action from that and stick with it every single day until it becomes your normal and it is embodied. And then number four is evidence. Once you are taking this aligned action consistently, you're going to collect evidence. People will start noticing you feel healthier, you feel better, you feel more secure, you feel more competent, more confident. This is evidence. And this is how trust is built through repetition. You repeat this over time. So it's alignment, action, evidence, trust, and you repeat. So, women who trust themselves deeply, I need you to understand this, are not perfect. They are practiced. It takes practice, baby. It takes curation, cultivation. So, I also think people misunderstand soft living to mean expensive candles and aesthetics alone, which I love. And we go through the aesthetics of soft living in my community, LAJA Soft Living Society. I encourage you to join, link in the comment section. But however, a deeper layer to soft living is that you create a life where your nervous system feels safe because you trust yourself to protect it. Yeah. When you trust yourself, ladies, you stop chasing, you stop spiraling, you stop outsourcing your worth, you stop rebuilding your life every few months. And here's what I know, ladies, I know that self trust is difficult to rebuild alone because self abandonment usually becomes a habit and old habits die hard. And this is why you need to join my community, Larger Soft Living Society, where we focus on emotional discipline, self trust, standards, feminine rhythm, soft living systems, becoming women who stop abandoning themselves, ladies, because transformation is way easier when you're surrounded by women practicing the same standards. So if you're ready to become the woman you can actually rely upon, I will see you on the other side, baby. That is it. Now you are a woman who is able to trust yourself more deeply. I want you to comment down below, how are you going to be incorporating what you've learned in this video today? What are 1 to 2 promises you'll be keeping to yourself to start rebuilding your self trust? Let's have a conversation, and I'll see you in my school community. Bye.